Giving all glory and honor and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who ruled well in teaching this 100% truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, beginning with the 144,000 and the rest of the men, women, and children. I'm your brother Magun Shalamar. The title of this video is More Money Trump is spending to add more Alcatrazes, alligator Alcatrazes across the United States. This is dealing with the Utah, but there's billions of dollars that's been approved by Congress to build more of these types of facilities. So this is a fair use for educational purposes only. It's not for monetary gain. Fair use.
We often hear rumors, and we often think they're unsubstantiated and they don't mean anything, but we often hear these rumors that the homeless people are disappearing. And I dismissed that. I said, first of all, homeless people can go here, there, and everywhere, and they're not working. They don't have a permanent residence. They'd be hard to track. And so I dismissed the stories until now. We may know, or at least have an idea, where some of them, not necessarily most or all, but where some of them are going, courtesy of the state of Utah and legislation that they have passed, and they have acted upon it. And if you haven't heard this, I think you're going to be as surprised and as shocked as I was. Yet, this is real. My name is Dave Hodges. I am the host of the Common Sense Show. We're the show that is freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. We are brought to you by, well, something that's exploding.
You're going to see that this devil, this Edomite here, is using the title of homeless along with the undocumented immigrants. This is what those facilities are actually built for. It's from that money that Congress just passed a few months ago. But you're going to hear him start using the word homeless and also using the immigrants, illegal immigrants, in the same sentence. But that's what they do to try to, the devil does to try to throw you off from the full truth.
Exit and invisible people. And he represents the National Homelessness Law Center. And what he has discovered, shocking, but it's not hiding. It's in plain sight. Let's see what he has to say.
Undocumented, low-paid labor from the country. Got to make up for it somewhere. They want to put up more of these Aligator Alcatraz style mega tent sprung structure type facilities. They've got the kind of pilot project for that in Utah, where the governor has said, we are going to completely support and implement Trump's executive order. And
you see that? This is a pilot program, but them facilities are named Alligator Alcatraz the same way it is in Florida for who? For the undocumented immigrants, the northern tribe of Israel, the so-called, Negro, Latino, Native American Indians, but they're dealing with the northern tribe. But they're going to also start putting the southern tribe in there as well.
Last week, their homelessness board, which was created by some Cicero legislation, they passed a plan for a 1,300 person megatent camp 7 miles outside of downtown in the middle of nowhere, no public transportation. 300 beds are going to be involuntarily committed locked facilities.
Locked facilities? Locked facilities?
Yeah, locked facilities. What do you expect? They all going to be locked because it's going to be a goulash.
Bill.
Get ready to relax with stress-free banking at Credit Karma.
Feel the tension melt away.
Commercial.
These other bills introduced at the state level that also have this forced labor element to them in Louisiana and West Virginia. To my eyes, I see them kicking out all the undocumented, low-paid labor from the country.
See, I think undocumented is part of it, but it's not the entire part, because this is also expanding into what? homelessness.
Yeah, no, it's basically the guys that you're trying to disguise it as. It's probably have some homeless in there, but that whole Alligator Alcatraz is for the concentration camps. We know that this devil was going to throw up, in the last days. That's going to be prisoners for the Israelites.
Basically been criminalized. One of the things that I raised my eyebrows to when Trump sent the National Guard into D.C., and Mayor Bowser, to her credit, said, this is good, we lowered crime. And they did lower crime. I don't want to take away from the accomplishment. But one thing that I said,
let's go to
a minute. A lot of people don't like it, protesting ICE. I think there's a right way to go about it. Deport people who are undocumented. I have a problem with this. Under the law, Article 4, Section 4, you can deport people who are undocumented. A lot of people don't like it, protesting ICE. I think there's a right way to go about it and a wrong way to go about it, but that argument aside.
So you see that these prisons are really for the so-called undocumented immigrants.
But I want to leave you with one other thought. He also said jail diversion. So this is a third category of what I would call prisoners. You've got undocumented, you've got homeless, and now you got jail diversion.
So as you can see, this is just a prelude of what this devil is bringing as far as Jacob's trouble. And I got a couple articles here that goes into the approval. It says Senate approves unprecedented spending for mass deportation, ignoring what's broken in our immigration system. And this comes under the American Immigration Council. I'm just going to read some of this. It says Washington, D.C., July 1st, 2025. The Senate passed a budget reconciliation bill that includes an unprecedented allocations of funds for immigration detention and enforcement while simultaneously stripping health care from millions of Americans. It says the bill passed today with Vice President J.D. Vance contributing the tie-breaking vote, earmarked some $170 billion for immigration and border enforcement-related funding provisions. And you can see some of the bills that includes $45 million is $45 million for building new facilities or immigration detention centers. $45 billion. You see? $29 billion going towards the ICE. That's a whole lot of money. Let's see. This here, it says the anti-immigrant policies in Trump final big budget bill, big, beautiful bill. This is how that bill got passed. He put it inside this bill here. Let's see. I want to go to. It says under supercharged funding for immigration enforcement. In addition to mass detention funding, the law immediately provides approximately $32 billion for immigration agents and operations. And there was another one. Dramatic expansion immigration detention, including family detention. Down here it says the law immediately gives the Department of Homeland Security $45 billion to detain immigrant adults and families. And like the elder apostles of Great Millstone bring out, who are those people that's being detained? Who houses are they going in and pulling out the family, bringing out the father, separating the mother from the children? You don't see them doing it to Moab, the so-called Chinese. You don't see them doing that to Ishmael, the so-called Arabs. You don't see them doing it to the so-called Africans, right? You only see them doing it to the northern tribe. That's who you see the ICE dealing with and breaking up the families and throwing them in the back of the paddy wagon and hauling them off to these Alligator Alcatraz is the northern tribe, Ephraim. So yeah. And this is Texas. The mystery surrounds $1.2 billion of Army contract to build a huge detention tents camp in Texas desert. And this is in Texas. $1.2 billion of the same thing they got in these other states. You see that? It says Trump administration last month awarded a contract worth $1.2 billion to build and operate what it says will become the nation's largest immigration detention complex. And we know what that's ended up going to be. The concentration camps, what that's ended up going to be used for. Because this is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We know that these camps that's going to be built is for the, he's going to try to round up the elect. You know, some of us going to be thrown into prison. Some of us are going to be beheaded. You know, Lord willing, we are men that are part of the elect, you know. But we know this is what Trump is doing this for. What his, what this America is doing. You know, the elites is pushing. Just as Revelation 12, verse 12, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Right, because the Esau Edom, this is his kingdom. He's ruling this earth. This is his heaven. This is the best it's going to get. And the ones that's dwelling with him in his heaven is the other nations that is enjoying the riches of this earth, along with Esau, Moab, and the rest of them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Who's on the bottom? Who's on the bottom of Esau's kingdom? Esau is in heaven, and we on the bottom, Jacob. We're the ones at the bottom. We're down low, right? For the devil has come down unto you. We see him fall. He's falling out of his rulership. We seeing this kingdom fall every day, like Yahweh Shah said. You know, I seen Satan fall like lightning. So we seeing the crumbling of U.S. or the United States. We seeing the downfall of Esau's kingdom. For the devil has come unto you, having great wrath, because he knows he only has but a short time, right? Because that's the wrath you starting to see. He throwing up buildings like he's playing a monopoly. He throwing out billions of dollars just to get these concentration camps, you know, put up overnight. You see how fast he did at Alcatraz, Alligator Alcatraz down there in a matter of days. He had that thing built. This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 8, and it says, unto the angel of the church of Smyrna, these things says the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. I know thy works and tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich. I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not, but the synagogue of Satan. Yeah, we know that this letter was written to Smyrna, you know, for them evil that was done in them churches, the Israelites. But this is a nomen omen, meaning that it has two meanings to it. It's also dealing with Esau Edom, the so-called small hats that are actually Amalek, the chief tribe of Esau. Those are the ones that call themselves the Ish people that are not. And the top banking family of those people are the Rothschild, Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the Murdochs, the DuPonts on this earth. Those are the rich, behind the scene, small hatters, the top banking families that are pushing this, giving the money to build these Alcatrazes, right? Because they know they only had but a short time before Yahweh Shah cracked that sky. And they trying to push out that new world order. We know that's going to be the MOTB, which is the micro C-hip. They try to enslave the whole world. Verse 10, it says, for none of those things which thou shalt suffer, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. And that's what he's building all these prisons for, to cast some of us in there. You know? If you get Matthew chapter 24, it says, we're going straight for the sake of time, straight to the point at verse 20, verse 9, it says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Whose name's sake? For Yahweh Shah Mashiach's name's sake. Yahweh is the Heavenly Father. Yah is He. Hawa means to be, or He exists. The Heavenly Father always existed, and His only begotten Son is Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yah is He. Hawa Shah means He saved, He delivers. He delivered who? His people. And the Lord only coming for his elect at this time. He's only coming for his elect. So he's telling us that they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. And you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. The whole nation knows to hate these so-called Christians out here. They got all these different sects of Christianity. You got Islam, you got Baptists, you got, Methodists and all of those. But the truth is coming from the great millstone. This truth is not coming from the ISUPK. It's not coming from IUIC. It's not coming from all those other broken off one Westerners. The truth is the truth is coming straight out of great millstone, beginning with the elder apostle to her on down. Because he had the true breakdown, and it is lining up to everything that's prophesied in Revelation 13 about how they are emphasizing how they bringing in the mark of the beast, which we know that to be the micro C hip. And we seeing it today. The shutdowns was going on with the EBT cards, SNAP programs. They shut that off overnight. This devil just shut it off overnight. And it's through gradualism is when you can see them slowly implementing the changing of systems to the digital currency. And there's going to be that mark in the right hand of the forehead, which is going to be a physical chip placed in your right hand on your forehead. It's very simple to see. Let's get Salakia. Let me go to the Apocrypha. Second Esdras. So this is the Apocrypha, Second Esdras chapter 16. And we're going to go right to verse 40. It says, "O my people, hear my word. Make you ready for thy battle. And in those evil, in those evil, be even as." So I can read this again. "O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth." Because be ready for battle is this is going to be. We understand this is going to be spiritually battle. We have to fight, man. You have to, pray and be part of the hopeful elect. The Lord is through great millstone and showing us what is coming, and we got to be mentally prepared for this battle because we can't fight Esau. Esau blessed with the sword. He got all the armies backing him. We can't fight against this man. This man is the ruler on this earth, and the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to take him down. So we got to be mentally prepared what's coming, and you can only be mentally prepared through great millstone. That's just my, that's me speaking as a man. And then those evil be even as pilgrims upon the earth, right? Because we got to be ready to move, get up out of here. You got to probably be living in the woods like some of the elders say at camp. You never know, because when this evil come in like a flood, you got to be, be ready to leave and just be like living in the land, no matter, whatever the Lord has planned, that hopefully we them men, but this is the mindset. We got to be ready for this. What's coming down the pipe. It says, verse 70, it says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrections upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai." Right. You see that? Those who fear the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You're going to be sparing none, spoiling and destroying. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So you see, they're already saying homeless. That man was emphasized in that video, homeless people who are going to be thrown into them camps. So what are we going to be living if they throw you out of your houses? They're going to be considered what? You're going to be considered homeless, I guess, It said, "Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire." Right, not stubble in the fire, but as gold in the fire. When you stubble, you don't want to be a stubble in that fire. Stuff you're gonna get burnt up. But being as gold, you're gonna get tried, meaning you're gonna be purified in that fire, you know, purified in that tribulation that's coming on this earth, man. All right, so let me get one more. I'm gonna go to Isaiah 59 and 19. It says, "So shall they fear the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua from the west." And what is the west? That's talking about America. We're over here in the west, right? And his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua shall lift up a standard against him, right? Because over here in America, you know, is where the destruction is going to mainly take place. America is going to be totally, utterly destroyed by the ICBM missiles after the MOTB comes out, and Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, when his angels, when they come through with those, with them in them chariots, right? This place is going to be destroyed. But during that time, it says that the Lord is going to lift up a standard. And hopefully with them men that the Lord is going to give the special spirit, they're going to give that special spiritual power to. Some of them will elect the men. And pray that I'm one of those men, you know, that's going to lift up that standard, man, against this devil, man. That's going to be doing protection. And this is the times we're going to see some spiritual things happen that we never seen happen before. Spiritual powers like Superman and all them X-Men and everything like that, you know. Verse 20 says, "And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and to them that turn from transgression. And Jacob said, Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua." And that's going to be Yahweh Shai when he returns, man, for his elect. "As for me, this is my covenant with them, said Yahweh. My spirit is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth, not out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, said Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, from henceforth and forever." So this is the good news, man. This is our hope, you know, in times of Jacob's trouble that we're leading into, that the Lord be with us, and we're part of the elect. With that, I'm gonna say Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem Rakar HaKadosh. I hope you was edified. Again, double honor to the elder apostle, great millstone. Shalom.